move on. Minimum value. We're going to look at the minimum and the maximum value, and it has to do with the vertex. So it is, with emphasis, the y-coordinate, and I'm going to emphasize that it's the y-coordinate by putting this around there. The y-coordinate of the vertex when the parabola opens up. Let's draw a picture of what that means. So, if I have this parabola here, that parabola opens up, correct? Yeah? Yes, Mrs. Burgess, opens up. Yeah, okay. Yes. The vertex is here. It's the lowest point on that parabola. That is an ordered pair, and it's 0, 0, isn't it? Then we would say, since it opens up, the minimum is the y-coordinate of the vertex, and it's y equals 0. The minimum is y equals 0. This is just a funky m here. Okay? So when it opens up, you look at the coordinates of the vertex, and that minimum value would be the y-coordinate of the vertex when it opens up. Okay? Yes?
What do you mean by when it opens up? Is that just when it's like...
Do the parabolas always open up?
Yeah.
Do they always open this way?
No.
Do they sometimes open this way? That's down.
So that, so
Okay, we're getting to that. Yeah, we're getting to that.
The
Yes.
vertex is
The y-coordinate of the vertex is called the minimum value. Okay.
So like the
Let's just do maximum, and you'll see. Let's keep going, okay? The maximum is the y-coordinate. I'm going to abbreviate this, but I am going to emphasize it again. It's just the y-coordinate of the vertex when the parabola, what do you think?
opens down.
Opens down. So, if you had this parabola here, and the vertex, let's say it's on 0, 0 here, this is called the maximum, the y-coordinate there, because it's the highest point on that parabola, isn't it? So you can look at, kind of remember it that way. It's the maximum, it's the highest point when it opens down. And so the y-coordinate, that is your maximum. Yes?
will this be instead of writing like y is greater than or equal to 0?
Not doing domain and range, no. Nope. Okay. Basically what you're going to do today is you're going to graph this equation using the axis of symmetry and the vertex and one other point. That's what we're doing. So we have to figure out how to come up with the axis of symmetry. It's not always going to be here. It might be over here, it might be over here. So there's an equation that will help you do that. Find the axis of symmetry of the graph of the function and graph it. Now remember, this is a vertical line. And you get that line by doing this. X equals negative b over 2a. Oh, now wait a minute. That's the formula you're going to use. Guess where that formula comes from?
The whatever one that we did.
The singing one, the quadratic equation. It's the front part of that formula. Negative b over 2a, it's the front part of the quadratic formula, right? So you have to remember, in order to come up with that, you got to remember that this is this in its general form, right? So we can easily come up with the vertical line that is the axis of symmetry by plugging B and A into this. So that's what we're going to do. So, first of all, let's identify what is A here.
3.
3, and what's B here? 12. I'm going to plug it into the equation to get me the axis of symmetry. All right. So what's B? It's 12 over 2 times 3. What's 12 divided by 6?
2.
But there's a negative out front, so it's negative 2. So our axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2. Okay, what kind of line is that? And it hits the x-axis where? At negative 2. So it's a vertical line, and I'm going to graph it. That's the axis of symmetry. That's x equals negative 2.
That's all we have to do?
Not yet. That's just starting to get the parabola.
Wait, where's the parabola? This one. Obviously.
Okay, is everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
This is one of the main gists of this whole thing. Okay, now we've got to find the vertex. The vertex sits on this line, doesn't it? Always on a parabola. We don't know where it's at, but any point on this line is going to have an x-coordinate of what? It is, isn't it? Any point on that line is going to have an x-coordinate of negative 2. So the vertex is a point on the axis of symmetry. It's a point on the axis of symmetry. It's going to be an ordered pair with the x-coordinate of what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. I already know that. How do I get the y-coordinate? Plug it into the function. Plug negative 2 into the function for x. Just like you're making a table. This is your x-coordinate. So you're going to plug it into the function. Y equals 3x squared plus 12x minus 8. I'm just writing the function over. Now I'm going to plug in negative 2.
This is hard.
It's not hard. Follow order of operations. What do you have to do first?
No, the power.
The square, right. You got to do the square first, okay? So negative 2 times negative 2 is what? 4 times 3?
Negative.
Because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times 3 is 12. This is negative 24, and that's minus 8. And then what do you get? Negative 20. That's your y-coordinate. When negative 2 goes in, negative 20 comes out. So this is your vertex. That's your vertex. That's way down here.
Where is this?
Okay, now, do you guys know, is this parabola going to open up or down?
Up.
How do you know it's going to open up? Well, that's not true. It's not always, you can't just base it off the picture here. How do you know?
Because it's positive.
Because A is positive. If A was negative, that would cause the flip, wouldn't it? Okay, so we need one other point. What would be an easy point to get? Plug in 0. That would be super easy. Okay, we need one other point. So 3 times 0 squared plus 12 times 0 minus 8. What does that equal?
-8.
It does equal negative 8. So another point would be 0, negative 8. Plot that. over 0 down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you say, but we don't need to do any more work because, yeah, this is 2 away from the axis of symmetry, so we can just reflect it and get that point right there, right? Did you see that? Everybody saw that? We had that point, it's 2 away, so we just go 2 on this side. And then we have enough where we can basically draw the parabola. So make sure it's not a V, because that'll just annoy me. That was kind of a V. Make sure it's a curve. I did bad there. Don't do as I do as I say, okay?
I can't draw parabolas in my way.
Yeah, they don't have to be perfect for now.
I mean, I'm not.
So let's talk here before we turn it over. It'll be quicker the next time. We found the axis of symmetry by using this part of the quadratic formula, right? This piece right here. Then we plugged in that number into the equation. That's the x-coordinate. We found the y-coordinate for the vertex. Then we did one other point. That's what we did. 3 things here. Okay?
I thought you meant I had to plug in X and Y.
No. So we're going to do it again. It'll be quicker this time. Turn it over. Remember this. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Hey, gentlemen. Start with the axis of symmetry.
Do we have to write all this down?
No, you can abbreviate too.
Isn't the axis?
So we're going to do this equation. X equals negative b over 2a.
So wouldn't it be positive?
So let's talk about it. What is b?
-2.
So I'm going to put negative 2 up here. What's a in this equation?
X.
1. Okay, so 2 times 1 is what? Now I got to simplify that. 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, correct? And then there's that other negative out here. So it actually equals 1. So x equals 1. That's my axis of symmetry. So I skip. Wait, what?
I just knew that myself.
Do you get it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, are you sure?
That's the way I write.
X equals 1. I'm graphing that. That is my axis of symmetry. X equals 1. The second thing I do is find the vertex. I know it's an ordered pair with my x coordinate of what? 1. I got to find the y coordinate. It is -4. Very good. So you plug in the 1 squared just to write it out. And you would get -4. So plot that over 1 down 4. We need one other point. Is this going to open up or down?
Up.
And I know that because 1 is positive here. So let's just do 0. 0 is the easiest point to do. So you plug in 0. Y equals 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. That would be -3. Over 0 down 3. And then how do I get the other point? I just reflect it over.
Oh, it's so tiny.
I know it's got to open up. And it will. So you just kind of connect them. And it should look like that.
Yay.
Could we get more points if we wanted to?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could pick another x value and plug it in.
Or not.
Okay. So this is one thing that you're going to do on your homework. There's another thing that's similar. It says tell whether the function has a minimum or a maximum value, then find that value. Well, make this a negative. We're not going to do this one, by the way. If that has a negative, which way does this parabola open, up or down?
Down.
So is it going to have a minimum value or a maximum value? Maximum. And that's the y coordinate of the vertex, right? So in order, it's got a maximum. A is negative, so it has a maximum. And then we have to find that maximum value. And it's the y-coordinate of the vertex. So we have to go through these same steps here to get the vertex. You have to find the axis of symmetry, which is the x-coordinate of your vertex, plug it in and get the y-coordinate. Pardon me?
So then what would we plug in our x and our
Watch. Well, first we have to do this right here. First we have to do that and get the x. So x equals negative, what's my b?
16.
Negative 16 over 2 times a, 2 times negative 2. You can simplify that.
I really wish we had one of those.
Positive 4. I think.
No, it equals negative.
So negative 16 divided by negative 4 is positive 4, but then we have the negative outside.
Oh.
So it's going to equal negative 4.
Celebrate Tuesday.
Wait, wouldn't it be regular?
The negative is outside here. Don't forget that. Okay? Now, remember, this is the x-coordinate of my vertex, isn't it? In order to find the maximum, I need the y-coordinate. So I just plug that into the equation. Plug negative 4 into the equation. Find the y-coordinate. Isn't f of x, by the way, the same as y? Yes, f of x is the same as y. Don't forget that. Y equals negative 2 times negative 4 squared minus 16 times negative 4 plus 4. Take it piece by piece. This would be negative 32 plus 64 plus 4. So what does that equal?
So you're positive 36.
It is.
Kill it, Paul.
So my y-coordinate is 36.
Hand over the calculator.
So this is my maximum.
Maximum y.
Do we have to write that out?
I could just say y equals 36. It's okay.
This
Okay.
isn't that
Now, we're not doing this one, but I want you to write this down on your paper.
Yes.
Let's say you were given this problem, and you had to find the axis of symmetry. And you went to identify A and B. What is A?
1.
What's B?
It doesn't have a B.
Whoa.
Doesn't.
No.
This,
Yeah.
so, no, it would be what value would make B disappear? What value?
0.
0. B would be 0. Because think of it like this. You have ax squared plus 0 times this middle term plus 6.
I like it
Right.
when it's mostly.
So that has to be 0. Just wanted to point that out because you're going to see that.
Yeah.
It's like when you have to